Coach Sully, Reps and Sweat Martial Arts and Fitness. This week's workout, we are going to explore the world of knees. We're going to go over how to throw knees, our different types of knees, and how to effectively land those knees on an opponent. First of all, the knees are what we call hard tools. What that means is that a little bit of effort goes a long way with knees. If we throw the knees correctly, we do not need to throw the kitchen sink and end those knees in order to make them effective and in order for them to do damage. But we have to make sure that we're doing them correctly. Secondly, when we're throwing the knees, ideally we are looking for the midsection area. We're taking something hard and hitting something soft. Now, yes, you do have knees that are aimed at the head, but for the most part, we're looking for the stomach, the floating rib area. That's where you're going to have the best target, and that's where you can do the most damage. So starting off with the knees, we're going to start off and we have a few different ranges. We have basically our punching range, and then we have our clinching and close range knees. And both of them require a difference in technique in order to land them effectively. So I'll stand over here so you can see me. So from our punching range, what we need to do is we need to make sure that our knee is coming from the back leg. So what does that mean? That means if I'm standing in my orthodox stance, the right knee is going to be thrown. If I want to throw the left knee, I need to switch my stance and throw the left knee. So when we're looking at the bag and we want to throw our right knee or our left knee, and we're talking about punching range, we have to lift the knee up to that stomach height, and we're going to thrust it forward so it looks like this. Boom. Just like that. If we just throw the knees up, and I see this all the time when people first step on the mat, they make the force of the knee go up, you actually end up hitting the target. You see that? So we have to lift it. We're in punching range. We have to lift the knee up, thrust it forward. And a good way to work on this, because it does take some core strength and some balance in order to pull it off, is to do it without a bag. So we lift, boom. We lift, boom. We lift, boom. Now, a couple things. Like I said, if I am throwing the left knee, the front leg, and if I'm a southpaw, it's going to be the right knee. We can't just lift the knee up and throw it. It's going to feel awkward. We're not going to be able to generate the force. So we have to switch our stance and throw the knee. Boom. And then put our foot right back down, because our stance is home base. We want to be back in our stance. So to throw the left knee, we switch or step. We lift, hips, foot straight down to the mat, and that puts us back in our stance. A couple more times. Switch, lift, hips, back to our stance. Step, lift, hips, back to our stance. Now, a couple things that we want to make sure happens when we're throwing these knees. The biggest mistake that I see a lot of people throwing when they're throwing the knees is, in order to generate force, they do the "this is Sparta" kind of thing in there, and they drop their hands. Like I said, starting off, the knees are what we call hard tools. You do not need to throw the kitchen sink in them. So there's no need to drop your hands. And training and drilling it with your hands up is what is going to allow you to get used to generating the force without dropping your hands. So we don't want to do this. We want to keep those hands up. Keeping those hands up. Now, if we absolutely need to generate the force, we can swing our hands in a way that keeps us protected while we're doing so. So the leg that is kneeing, the hand that's on the same side of the leg that's kneeing is going to go like this, and the other hand's going to go like this. So it looks like this. See how that hand is protecting? And we can switch it up. And there you go. So for our punching range knees, we need to lift up the knee to the midsection area and use our hips to thrust it forward. But when we're talking about those knees that are in close range, that means I'm up here in clinching range. I'm either grabbing the arms, grabbing the head, grabbing some sort of body part, and I'm close. I don't have the space to lift that knee. If I just try to lift my knee, I'm kneeing them in their legs. I don't have the space to lift the knee so I can thrust it forward. So I have to go around to the side. So the way that it looks is, and the way that you drill this is you put your hands either tall enough to put your hands on top of the bag, or you put your hands on the side of the bag, emulating grabbing the head or grabbing the arms, grabbing some sort, somewhere on their person. So I'm going to lift my knee up, open the door, boom, close the door. The other side, open the door, close the door. Other side, open the door, close the door. Now, again, we're still looking for that stomach midsection area, but the force either goes straight into the target or it digs up into the rib. So into the target looks like this. We grab the top, boom, and into the ribs going diagonally up is slightly different, boom, like that. So we open, close, open, close. Open, close, open, close. But folks, your knees are going to be very, very, very useful for you in self-defense situations, in sparring situations, and they're just all around a great tool. Like I said, we call them hard tools, which means that a little bit of effort goes a long way. But if you don't take anything away from today's lesson, the one thing that I want to make sure that you're taking away is making sure that you do not overwork yourself trying to throw these knees. It does not take that much force in order for those knees to do damage. You want to prioritize your balance when you're throwing these knees and staying away from anything that throws your balance off, because if you're close enough to knee them, they're also close enough to knee you. All right, guys, Coach Sully, Reps in Sweat Martial Arts and Fitness. Let's get it.